There's trouble brewing in paradise, as earlier leaks and rumors have really ruffled some feathers. We've got Nintendo leakers going at it, and we have some of their responses right here for you. Plus, more Zelda info, this time from Nintendo themselves, and an earlier report we had. Man, that game has now been revealed. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. A great day to be alive, and if you're not feeling like it, FIFA 23 is your new game trial on Nintendo Switch. Okay, maybe that doesn't make your life better, but let me tell you, the drama-filled news we have today definitely will. Remember when we talked about the DK rumor and the FZero rumor and how they were like so obviously fake? Well, we got a response from Nintendo Prime himself, and another Nintendo leaker gets in on the action and just goes straight for the jugular. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hope you're excited for an action-packed video. Kicking it off with Lego 2K Drive officially announced. Remember, we talked about this leak and said, hey, going to be a Lego Mario Kart style game. Well, it's coming to Switch May 19th, and it actually is being marketed as a AAA open world game. Apparently there's thousands of parts, you can build your own vehicle. No IP though. My interest drops tremendously when there's no Lego IP. I mean, there's Lego IP, but there's not IP as Legos, you know what I'm saying? So it's no Marvel. It's like, oh, cars from Lego Creator, cars from Lego sets, and it's a $70 game on next gen, $60 on Switch. They're gonna have a lot of post-game content, and it promises to be an open world. There's single player, there's multiplayer. It honestly looks pretty cool. And it's out in May, very soon. I do appreciate that, but I'm not sure this is going to compete with Mario Kart, especially with the new characters and courses that keep coming for that game. Now, before we get to the beef, Nintendo has a little bit of news on Zelda. Now, this really activates my hype based on yesterday's massive leak. Again, that was a leak that could be true, could not be true, but if you want to check out that full video, there was a ton of info there. An info dump all about the big features and major systems that make Tears of the Kingdom unique. So definitely check that video out if you want to get an insight into what it might be. Aonuma, the head Zelda honcho, kind of, I don't want to say confirms, but it makes sense given the leak. He said, in the sequel Tears of the Kingdom, players' free imagination will be filled with new gameplay that will bring about changes to the game world. Now, you could take this one of two ways. You could take it to the vehicle creation and customization avenue that yesterday's leak took it to and say, hey, your imagination allows you to build vehicles, and Nintendo is really capitalizing on what they saw from the community in Breath of the Wild, like doing crazy stuff, using the physics system, and moving about this amazing open world Zelda land. You could say that they are going to create vehicles, create weapons, create outfits, and that will be sort of the UGC part of this imaginative new Zelda. Or when he says changes to the game world, you could think about how the systems of time mechanics that we've seen already hinted and teased in the trailers could affect the game world. Players' free imagination will be filled with new gameplay that will bring about changes to the game world. I wonder if this is instead a reference to rewinding and fast forwarding time, or going back in time and forward in time. Like if there's that much control over the time mechanic and you can't affect so many things, like you can make that Goron have a white beard. You can make that Goron suck on a magma rock, baby style. You can take that flower and make it wilt. You can take that flower and back in the prehistoric times, it reached to the clouds. Like that is a game world changing gameplay then. And I honestly, if I had to bet, I lean more that direction. Yes, like vehicle creation and customization of weaponry is changing the game world, but it's more like building, crafting. I don't know. I mean, maybe this is just marketing speak and they're confused themselves, but changes to the game world, it sounds really interesting, and I do feel like it might lean more into the time mechanic. A lot of people are saying, oh, building, crafting, but consider time. Time never stops, not even for Link. And Tears of the Kingdom is less than 50 days away. All right, we've made it to the drama section. Recall that we talked about an FZero leak rumor where it was supposedly being made by Next Level Games, the makers of Luigi's Mansion and Mario Sports titles, and a Donkey Kong Freedom 3D open world DK game. Now, I made a pretty scathing video basically saying, look, this DK footage, it's on TikTok, this is not a real game. I got a response from Nintendo Prime himself, and then also there is further development from another leaker, which is far more ruthless. Now, Nintendo Prime was very kind to me. He appreciated the video. He had no hard feelings. So, like, I got to give him major props for handling this like a gentleman. That was awesome. He basically said, he's not even 100% sure on some of this stuff. Maybe it's not, maybe it's just rumors. Maybe it's just hearsay. He does double down on the DK stuff and says that, he knows that someone made that video based on the rumor, that the rumor doesn't come from that video we showed. It's in fact the other way around. I don't know. He also says that the DK stuff has been verified from other places. And then he says that the FZero stuff was just something he was told about. So, take that with a grain of salt. So it doesn't sound like there's a lot of, confirmation or like real solid sourcing here. But he does really believe about like the DK stuff, apparently. Now, he did send me one picture that I can't share. And honestly, I don't know how this photo really proves or disproves anything. Like, it's a photo of apparently a person that works at a company that apparently had info. But to me, like, A, it could not even be an actual photo. It kind of looks like it was taken in an extreme rush in a sneaky situation. And B, there's nothing about this photo that says anything about Nintendo IP whatsoever. So, I don't know. I still find it to be 100% not actual. I don't think F-Zero is being developed by Next Level Games, and I don't think there's an open world Donkey Kong game. Now, I believe in handling everything maturely and politely, but Zippo, on the other hand, decides to just go in for the roast. Now, we've talked a lot about Zippo being like probably not the most reliable leaker, has a ton of things to say. They oftentimes don't come true. A few have come true, but there's some back and forth. But man, he just takes this all through the ringer. He says it's all complete BS. He says Next Level Games is not doing an F-Zero GX remaster. They're working on the follow-up to Luigi's Mansion 3 and 2 other games. Doesn't say what they are, but says Next Level Games is working on 3 games, one of which I'm guessing is Luigi's Mansion 4. Also talks about this Donkey Kong game and says all of that is complete nonsense. DK is a 2D game, doesn't understand why people can't just believe and understand that Nintendo wants to keep DK 2D, and says that there is nothing, never has been, about a 3D open world big Donkey Kong game in that style. According to Zippo, it's all BS. Next Level Games ain't doing F-Zero, and Donkey Kong is a 2D game, which he says will borrow combination of mechanics from Donkey Kong Country and Jungle Beat. So I guess maybe that's where some of the DK grinding on vines aspects comes in. We've seen that discussed and talked about. Oh, supposedly Miyamoto said, give him some shoes. So I don't know, banana shoes. We'll see. I do firmly believe there is a DK game in the works, given Nintendo's love for the character and their efforts to make him more popular, and doggone it, it's a great decision. But whether you believe Zippo, whether you believe Nintendo Prime, hopefully you believe me. And my take is that I don't think anybody really knows what's happening here. I think there's been rumblings of F-Zero and rumblings of Donkey Kong for a bit now, and I don't think any of these people have actual concrete evidence of either. I think it is a slow season. I think we're approaching Zelda, but it feels like Zelda's been approaching for a long time. We can't lock down what Nintendo's plans are for the Switch 2, and so it's a great time to bring up Scuttlebutt, and really kind of, people are going to get excited about. People are going to, lock onto that and be happy to hear about exciting new games, because Nintendo has been so tight-lipped. In a way, Nintendo has created this situation for themselves by not revealing anything that is coming after Pikmin 4. Now, they don't have to. It's all their prerogative, right? They're the company. They get to make the rules, whether we like it or not. But this is why we're seeing this kind of stuff going on. I'd love F-Zero to come back. I'd love Donkey Kong to come back. They probably both come back at some point. I don't think anybody that has said anything thus far really knows all that much. I don't think there's a DK open world game. I don't think Next Level is doing F-Zero. We will wait and find out. But it's interesting to see this happen. And yeah, for everything Zippo is and everything Zippo isn't, that was he said he's very crabby. So man, this is a crabby side of Zippo, and it's a pretty intense post. Please don't hate on anybody here. It's just, it's YouTube. It's rumor mills. It's leakers. It's all of that. It's Nintendo. This is the discourse you get when you're a Nintendo fan, and honestly, it kind of makes things interesting, and it kind of makes things a bit exciting. So, Angry Zippo, Nintendo Prime being a gentleman, probably doesn't have actual knowledge about these games, and then my take is DK F-Zero coming, but not because of these Zelda's coming though. That's super soon. Super excited for that. Check out that big leak yesterday. That one, may not be real either, but it definitely gives you a lot to think about. And I do think, even if it's not real, that one has so much grounded in actual truth from the trailers and Nintendo's actual marketing, as limited as it may be, that we can, like that stuff is likely, even if it's not, a complete true leak. But let me know what you think about world-changing gameplay. Let me know if you're going to check out Lego Drive in May. And let me know what you think about this entire Nintendo Prime Zippo Donkey Kong FZero saga. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.